The haunted hospital. No one came out alive. Today I'm going to tell you a horror story, so watch till the end. It's going to be really creepy. This story is called The Haunted Hospital. No one came out alive, and it's based on chilling real events that happened inside a forgotten medical facility hidden in the outskirts of Georgia. There was once an abandoned hospital deep in the countryside, one that locals swore had been cursed since the 1970s. After a massive fire engulfed the East Wing, killing over 100 patients and staff who were trapped inside while the building burned overnight without anyone noticing until morning. Ever since then, the place had remained sealed. Its gates rusted shut and vines curling over the cracked walls like nature itself was trying to bury its memory. But that didn't stop a group of young thrill-seekers from investigating it in the summer of 2022. Among them was Ethan, a YouTuber known for his paranormal content, who brought his girlfriend Rachel, his skeptical best friend Jason, and two others, a brave girl named Mia and a quiet techie named Logan, who handled all the ghost hunting equipment. They arrived one humid night around 11:30 p.m., armed with cameras, spirit boxes, and flashlights. Stepping over broken tiles and faded warnings spray-painted on the hospital doors like "Turn back and the dead still scream here," yet they laughed it off as just urban legend nonsense, at least at first, because as soon as they crossed the main entrance, a wave of cold air smacked them in the face, despite the summer heat outside. And an odd silence settled in, the kind that presses into your chest and makes your heartbeat feel loud. The air smelled like mold-old medicine and something faintly coppery, like dried blood, and Rachel immediately said she didn't want to go further, but Ethan convinced her, promising they'd stick together and leave if anything felt truly wrong. Their flashlights flickered more than they should have, and when they walked past the awaiting area, the shattered glass windows reflected not just them, but someone else, someone tall and shadowed standing behind them, yet when they turned around, no one was there. The ghost meter Logan was holding began to beep wildly as they moved deeper into the hospital corridors, where wheelchairs sat overturned, medical charts still hung on walls with dates from 50 years ago, and operating rooms had rusty scalpels scattered across the floor like someone had left in a panic. The group decided to split up. A terrible decision. But they were chasing content, so Jason and Mia went one way while Ethan, Rachel, and Logan explored the pediatric wing, a section that gave everyone the worst feeling, especially when they found tiny hospital beds lined in rows and a wall where children's handprints were pressed into the paint, but the paint wasn't red originally. And it wasn't paint? Rachel heard a child laughing in one of the rooms and bolted, only to find a tiny wheelchair slowly rolling toward her without anyone touching it, and that's when she screamed. Because perched in the seat was an old mold-covered doll with its head turned completely around. Logan's EMF reader exploded with noise, and the spirit box started chanting something that sounded like "Leave us be. You are not welcome." But Ethan, eager for proof, dared to ask, "Who are you?" And the answer chilled their blood. "I was the doctor. They made me stay." I made them stay too. Meanwhile, Jason and Mia had gone down toward the ICU, where the power suddenly came on, not just lights, but the heart monitors, which beeped as if patients were still hooked up, and in one of the rooms, a bed had fresh indentations like someone had just gotten up, and that someone appeared at the glass door, a woman in a nurse outfit, eyes hollow, skin gray, mouth agape as she floated toward them without walking, passing through the closed door like mist and whispering, "Help me find my hands." Jason ran, but Mia stood frozen as the ghost came closer and closer, until finally Jason yanked her away and they sprinted back to the lobby, where the others met them pale and shaken. They all agreed to leave, but the front door was gone, not locked, not blocked, but completely vanished, like the walls had reshaped themselves, sealing them inside. Panic set in and they tried to find windows to break, but each one showed only blackness outside, not night, just an endless, suffocating dark. Logan pulled out his phone to call for help, but his screen just showed static and the words, "They're watching." Suddenly the intercom system sparked to life, though it had no power, and a voice said, "Next patient, room 301. Prepare for surgery," followed by metal slamming sounds from the upper floor. Against all logic, they ran toward it, thinking maybe someone was still alive here, But what they found in room 301 was an operating table with leather restraints, and dried blood staining the walls, and then the door slammed shut behind them, locking tight. Lights buzzed on overhead, and the table began to move, jerking up like someone had triggered an ancient motor, and the air filled with the smell of burning flesh. Just before the shadow of a surgeon emerged from the corner, wearing a long coat, surgical mask, and carrying a blood-covered bone saw. "Who's next?" he hissed, and all five screamed, trying to break the door open, but it wouldn't budge until the lights exploded and they all blacked out. They woke up hours later, outside the hospital, in the parking lot, lying in a circle like they had been part of a ritual. And none of them remembered how they escaped, but the footage on Ethan's camera told a different story. It showed them screaming in room 301, and then for over 4 minutes the screen went black. And when it came back, only Ethan was on the camera, looking into the lens and whispering, "You can't leave until you've taken someone's place." Shaken, the group disbanded after that. Rachel moved away. Jason deleted his social media and Logan destroyed all the equipment, but Ethan uploaded the video anyway, claiming it was just found footage fun to cover up the truth. Except a week later, his channel went dark, and no one has seen him since. The final thing posted was a live stream at 3:17 a.m. showing Ethan back at the hospital gates, whispering, "I was summoned. It's my turn again," before the screen cut to static and the words, "Welcome back, Doctor," appeared in blood-red font. Local police later found his camera outside the hospital, melted and warped like it had been through a fire. But no body, only Ethan's voice recorded in the background, faintly humming a nursery rhyme no one recognized, until one officer dropped the device and screamed, claiming he saw someone in the reflection behind him, wearing a surgeon's coat. If you like the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and definitely leave a comment. More terrifying stories are on the way, if you dare to watch them.